Hey travelers, welcome back to Laura's Travel Talk. Today, we're going to look at some amazing and unbelievable bridges that are around the world. And I am here to tell you, we're going to look at historic things, cultural, engineering genius, like the one there on the thumbnail. And you have got to stick around for number 7 and 8 because they are not to be believed. I'm not kidding. Holy cow. So let's kick it off. We'll start with something beautiful. The Charles Bridge in Prague, Czech Republic. That is in the top 5 of my bucket list to get to Prague. Why is it amazing? Well, it was built in the 14th century under King Charles IV, and this Gothic masterpiece stretches across the Vltava River, and it's adorned with 30 Baroque statues and towers on each pillar and at each end, and it has become one of Europe's most iconic medieval bridges. As story says, even Hitler said, "Don't destroy this bridge when you go into Prague. Don't touch the bridge." And that's all I know about that. But the best way to see it is stroll across at sunrise, and then the crowds are a little bit lighter and the statues glow in the soft morning light. And for sweeping views, take a boat ride on the river, and you get to see all the grandeur while you're going up the river. Enjoy. So our next stop is the stunning canyon in China. It's the Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge, and it's in the Hunan province in China. Why is it amazing? Well, it stretches 430 meters across that canyon, and it's suspended 300 meters high. This was once the longest and highest glass bridge in the world, and it offers clear views straight down into that breathtaking Zhangjiajie Grand Canyon. And that's the same landscape that inspired the floating mountains in Avatar. But the best way to see it would be book a ticket in advance, because they limit the number of visitor tickets per day. And then you compare it with a hike through the Zhangjiajie National Forest. You get that wonderful beauty and adrenaline all on the same trip. This place is stunning. So our next stop is the Hui Bridge in Zhejiang province, China. Look at that thing. That is so cool to me. I can't even believe it. That's why I put it on the thumbnail. But why is this one amazing? Well, it's a futuristic, it's triple arch structure. It looks like a jade hui, a symbol of good fortune in the Chinese culture. And its transparent glassways are suspended so high above the scenic area, it feels like you're walking through the clouds. I mean, look at that. And the best way to see it is visit in the morning when the mist is still hanging over the mountains a little bit, and you get that kind of a look. That is fantastic. Photographers capture every dreamlike shot when they go there in the morning. There's fewer crowds. So get out there and see that. That looks pretty stunning. So our next spot is in Greece, and this is the Archidiko Bridge. Why is this one amazing? Well, look at the pictures. These date back to about 1300 BC, and they're Mycenaean bridges, which is one of the oldest arch-style bridges still in use today. And remarkably, it was built without mortar. Just stone slabs carefully placed together, and it's survived for over 3,000 years. And there's a couple of them over there, but the best way to see it, you can find them near the village of Archidiko in the Peloponnese. It's pretty good. It's best to explore when it's part of a road trip through Greece's ancient sites. So you can include this in your, road trip tour. And then walking across there gives you a rare chance to step on history, because look at this one. This is just stacked rock, and there's a little tunnel underground. It's a bit smaller. But get out and see that Art Deco bridge and the Mycenaean bridge structures. So our next stop is another beautiful bridge. It's the Pont du Gard in France. Why is it amazing? Well, it's 3-tiered, and then there's with a reflection off the water. But it's an aqueduct bridge that was constructed in the 1st century AD to carry water across the Gardon River. And it towers nearly 50 meters high, and it's one of the best preserved examples of Roman engineering, and it's an UNESCO World Heritage Site. So the best way to see it, go at sunset. Look at this. When the limestone starts glowing golden, and visitors can walk across the lower level for a unique perspective. Or you can, rent a kayak and paddle beneath its massive arches. This place is stunning. Get out to the Pont du Gard in France. Okay, as promised, buckle up for these last 3, because this is not to be believed. That is the Ozumo-Ohashi Bridge in Japan. Now, it looks kind of steep, but it's nicknamed the roller coaster bridge. Why? Because this massive concrete structure looks nearly vertical in photographs. Look at that. When in reality, it has a gradient of only about 6% steep, but it's enough to allow the ships to pass, but safe enough for cars. But when you look at these pictures, it is frightening. If you came upon that and were driving, holy cow. But the best way to see it is to drive it from both sides for the illusion, because you only get that illusion on one side. But the best shots come from the Lake Nakami side, where the slope looks the most extreme, and local photographers flock here for that jaw-dropping optical trick. That's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Get this. This is the Veluwemeer Aqueduct in the Netherlands. Look, it just splits there in the middle. Or does it? It's amazing because this engineering wonder flips the script on bridges. The cars pass under the water while the boats float above. That's odd, but it's a surreal experience and a testament to Dutch water management ingenuity. I mean, look at that. How cool is that? It's weird. And the best way to see it is you drive across to feel the odd sensation of disappearing under the waterway. And then for photographers, there are viewpoints nearby where you can watch cars moving below the boats. One of the most unique traffic scenes you will ever spot. I just think that is so cool looking. I wished I would have seen it when I was in the Netherlands. Maybe I'll have to go back. All right, hold on to your hats. This thing is unbelievable. This is the Tai Hong Glass Walk in Hubei province, China. Why is it amazing? Well, it's perched 1,180 meters up the Tai Hong Mountains, and this cliff-hanging, hugging glass walkway is not for the faint of heart. Look at that on the side of that mountain. However, the most infamous feature of this high-tech illusion is the glass appears to crack and break underneath your feet with sound effects, giving you a thrill-seeking, heart-stopping surprise. I am not kidding. What are they thinking? Freaking people out on the top of the mountain. Oh my gosh, it makes my heart palpitate to think about it. It has a sensor in it, so it knows when people are walking across and it starts cracking and crackling and making the sound. And the best way to see it is it's located in the Tai Hong scenic area near Hamden, and it's part of a larger mountain route with cable cars, plank roads, and panoramic viewpoints. And the attraction now has been closed since 2019 because they needed to do some safety checks, but it still remains on the list of must-see for the dramatic scenery and possible reopening. But this is like staggeringly unbelievable to me. Well, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'm glad you watched to the end so that you could see those last 2 or 3 that are just unbelievable bridges. Unbelievable. Are you kidding me with the ingenuity behind these things? But as normal, please give me a thumbs up. I need some comments if you would be so kind. And until I see you next week, be careful of what's under your feet. Bye.